One-on-One Consulting would like to congratulate Jenny Shoemaker on her induction into the RMHS Athletic Hall of Fame. The Reading High girls basketball program began a run of excellence under future RMHS Hall of Fame coach Kim Penny in the early 2000s. All coaches will tell you they are only as good as the players they coach. And the first highly talented player under Kim Penny who emerged in the program was the class of 2003's Jenny Shoemaker.
23, Jenny Shoemaker.
Jenny Shoemaker was a combination of forward size at 5'8" with guard skills. And what became very apparent with Jenny at an early stage in her high school career was her shooting ability. Also, with the game on the line, Shoemaker was one of those players who shined in the bright spotlight, always wanting the ball in her hands.
Shoemaker for three.
A four-year varsity player, Shoemaker's scoring ability quickly ascended the Lady Rockets up the ranks in the Middlesex League. Jenny led her team in scoring in each of her sophomore, junior, and senior years, while being named a two-time Middlesex League All-Star. Upon the completion of her senior season in 2003, she graduated at the time as the school's all-time scoring leader with 1,201 points, a mark that stood for 10 more years. Her coach Kim Penny said this about Jenny: "Jenny was one of the most talented shooters I ever coached. There were not many players as talented as Jenny as offensive skills go. She's so fast with the ball. She can stop and hit a jump shot off the dribble going full speed. That's not common in women's basketball." Coach Penny also went on to credit Jenny for the rise in the fortunes of Reading girls basketball. She said, quote, "Jenny also began the evolution of Reading girls basketball, and thanks to her, we really turned the corner and became a pivotal part of the Middlesex League. She helped put us on the map and paved the way for other year-round players like her who helped change the culture and shape the program for future success." As a shooter, Jenny Shoemaker was ahead of her time. Very few shot the basketball with such range and consistency from the three-point line back at the start of the new millennium like she did. At the time of her high school career, her three-point numbers were staggering, with 171 made threes and seasons of 57 and 56 made three-pointers. After a feeling-out process as a freshman, where Shoemaker was third leading scorer on a 5-15 team, Shoemaker and the Reading girls program was about to take off. In Jenny Shoemaker's sophomore season, Reading started slowly, losing its first two games. But then the team started to come into its own, winning 8 of its next 9. Shoemaker was the team's top scorer in 6 of those games, as well as making 26 three-pointers in the first 11 games. The Lady Rockets went on to finish 12-8 for the regular season and made it back to the tournament, where they began a run of 14 straight trips to the postseason that all began thanks to the rise of Jenny Shoemaker. Reading won its first tournament game over Lowell, 56-54, as Shoemaker slashed to the basket to score the winning hoop with just 7 seconds left to cap off her 21-point performance that also included 5 three-pointers. Reading lost its next game to Somerville in the Division I North quarterfinals for a final record of 13-9. With Shoemaker returning for her junior year in 2001-2002, the Lady Rockets were not going to sneak up on many teams. Melrose became Reading's biggest rival during that period and beyond, along with notable battles with Wakefield. In Jenny's junior year, Reading lost the opener at Melrose, but then won 10 straight until running into the Lady Raiders again, suffering another loss. By this time, Jenny Shoemaker had developed into a prolific high school scorer. She averaged 16.4 points that season and made a then-school record 57 three-pointers that stood until the 2019 season. She topped the 20-point scoring mark 7 times her junior year, with a single-game high of 29 against Woburn, in which every point was needed in a 59-57 win. In all, Reading finished 14-4 in the Middlesex League in 2002, good for third place, and 16-4 in the regular season. After a tournament win over Charlestown, unfortunately, the Lady Rockets ran into their old nemesis Melrose and were eliminated. Prior to her senior year, all of Jenny Shoemaker's hard work in the sport of basketball paid off. First playing the game as a first grader in the after-school program, then rec travel and with AAU programs, as well as countless hours shooting and practicing in gyms and outdoor courts, Jenny received a basketball scholarship to the University of New Haven. With her college choice now made, she was free to just concentrate on having a big final season at Reading High. The Lady Rockets won their first 7 games of the 2002-2003 season until Melrose once again had the upper hand over Reading. But the team regrouped, winning its next 2, including a win at Lexington that coincided with Jenny reaching her 1,000th career point. Reading went a stellar 15-3 that season in the Middlesex League, good for second place. Shoemaker topped the 20-point mark in scoring 8 times and tied her career high of 29 points in a win at Burlington. The Lady Rockets qualified for the 3rd straight year for the MIAA tournament, and for the 3rd straight year won their opening tourney game, a 51-36 victory over Tewksbury, with Shoemaker leading the way with 18 points. But the trail ended again in the quarterfinals, this time at Salem, ending Reading's season and Jenny Shoemaker's career with a still fine 17-5 record. Jenny Shoemaker was not done with basketball by any means at that point, and she went on to have a fine college basketball career at the University of New Haven. She became a starter just past the midway point of her freshman year and averaged nearly 10 points per game for her career. Shoemaker still ranks 5th all-time in that school's history for most three-pointers made, with 126. The Reading High Athletic Hall of Fame welcomes Jenny Shoemaker into its class of 2022.